Picture a life guided by 20 timeless principles that bring clarity, resilience, and purpose to every day. These principles aren't just abstract ideas, they're practical steps to help you build genuine relationships, navigate challenges with confidence, and pursue your dreams with intention. From embracing true independence to cultivating meaningful connections, each principle is a step towards a fulfilled, empowered life. Ready to explore a new perspective? Let's dive in. 1. Love alone doesn't pay the bills. In a world that revolves around both love and practicality, building a stable financial base can protect and strengthen relationships. Think of a couple who can barely make ends meet. They love each other deeply, but financial stress often leads to arguments and tension. Have you noticed how financial worries can take a toll on the happiness of a couple, even when love is present? Real, lasting love grows best with stability. 2. Set concrete goals and take steps toward them. Setting goals is like setting a destination on a map. Without it, you'll wander aimlessly. Imagine you want to be financially independent in 5 years. Instead of hoping for it, create a savings plan, invest in learning new skills, or start a side business. Think about where you want to be a year from now. Are you actively taking steps, or are you relying on wishful thinking? 3. Reciprocate kindness and generosity. Imagine a friend who often invites you to dinner or helps you out, but you never return the favor. Over time, they might feel taken for granted, and your relationship could fade. How do you show appreciation for the kindness of others? Building mutual respect by returning favor strengthens your social bonds. 4. Quality over quantity in friendships. Many of us have large social circles, yet very few real friends. Imagine you're going through a difficult time. Who would actually show up to help? Would it be the hundreds of friends online or the one person who always has your back? Who would you trust in a time of need? Focusing on quality friendships is an investment in meaningful support and joy. 5. Your future is shaped by your actions, not by fortune-telling. Relying on destiny can keep you passive, but real progress requires you to take control. For instance, waiting for a promotion won't get you one. You need to showcase your skills and initiative. Have you ever put your dreams on hold, hoping something would change on its own? What could you do today to create your own opportunities? 6. Limit interactions with people who drain your energy. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is empowering. Think about a person who constantly complains or belittles others. Spending time with them could dampen your motivation. Reflect on the people you interact with. Do they energize you or drain you? Limiting negative influences can be transformative. 7. Enjoy hobbies responsibly. Balance work with play. Hobbies are great for relaxation, but if they take up all your time, they can hinder progress. Imagine someone who spends hours daily gaming instead of working toward their career goals. What hobbies bring you joy, and are you managing them in a way that supports your goals? 8. Laziness is a natural trait, but it can be overcome. Procrastination is part of human nature, but it can be changed with small steps. If you tend to delay important tasks, try breaking them into smaller, manageable parts. Have you ever noticed how taking the first step often makes things easier? Challenge yourself to start something today that you've been putting off. 9. Reflect on what you want from life and stay focused. Many people drift without direction because they haven't defined their goals. Take time to think about what you truly want. If you could do anything, what would it be? Are you taking steps in that direction, or are distractions pulling you away? Staying clear about your vision keeps you grounded. 10. The journey of life is filled with obstacles, but you won't find the path unless you start moving. Starting anything new feels daunting, but without action, you'll remain where you are. Think of someone who's afraid to pursue a new career path because they fear failure. What are you hesitating to start, and what's stopping you? Taking the first step can open doors you never knew existed. 11. Women are empowered by both home and career goals. It's a mistake to think success only exists outside the home. Balancing personal and professional aspirations is empowering. Imagine a woman who not only manages a household but also pursues a career she loves. Are you making room in your life for all aspects of your identity? Balancing both worlds brings fulfillment. 12. Put family loyalty and ethical principles at the core of your life. A loving family and strong moral values create a lasting foundation for happiness. Think of how much you cherish the advice and support of a loved one. When you act with integrity, you gain respect and the bonds with your family deepen. Have you ever noticed how being honest with loved ones brings you closer? 13. Use free time wisely. Feed your mind with knowledge. While social media and games are tempting, they often offer little value long-term. Instead, use some of that time to read, learn a skill, or explore new ideas. Can you remember a book or a lesson that changed the way you see the world? Investing in knowledge enriches your life. 14. Always stay open to opportunities, even if they seem small. Great success often comes from unexpected opportunities. Imagine someone who said yes to a small project only to have it lead to a career-defining moment. Have you ever hesitated to try something new only to find it was exactly what you needed? Staying open and adaptable expands your possibilities. 15. Let success speak for itself. Silence can be powerful. Rather than boasting, allow your achievements to shine naturally. Imagine someone who constantly talks about what they're going to achieve versus someone quietly succeeding. Which person tends to earn more respect? Letting results speak builds trust and credibility. 16. Stay well-groomed and presentable. Your appearance matters. Being neat reflects respect for yourself and others. Imagine going into a job interview looking unkempt. It would distract from your abilities. How do you present yourself daily? A polished appearance shows others you value their time and respect their attention. 17. Self-care is essential for men. 2. Health and well-being aren't gender-specific. Consider a man who takes time to eat well, exercise, and manage stress. Not only does he feel better, but he also inspires others to do the same. What small changes could you make to feel better physically and mentally? 18. A driven person doesn't depend on others for success. Success comes from self-reliance. Imagine a person waiting for a mentor to guide every step, as opposed to someone who independently seeks knowledge and growth. Are you waiting for help, or are you taking action on your own? Independence is the cornerstone of resilience. 19. When failure strikes, learn, adapt, and move forward. Failures aren't final, they're lessons. Imagine a project that failed because of a poor plan. Instead of quitting, analyzing the mistakes can improve the next attempt. Have you ever learned a valuable lesson from a setback? Embracing failure as a teacher makes you stronger. 20. Everyone has the chance to succeed. The difference is who seizes the moment. Opportunities come to those who act. Imagine two people, one waits for the right time, while the other makes the most of what's available. Which one will likely succeed first? Success often favors those who take the leap. Let's dive deeply into analyzing 4 key life principles through a modern Western perspective. I'll include concrete examples and encourage interaction with each concept. Here's how each of these can be applied practically in everyday life to inspire change and self-reflection. 1. Love alone doesn't pay the bills. Balancing relationships and financial stability. As we navigate life, especially by the age of 50, the concept of love and relationships has likely evolved significantly. In Western society, the early excitement of romantic love often gives way to a deeper commitment based on shared values, companionship, and mutual support. However, when faced with financial pressures, even the strongest relationships can experience strain. Imagine a couple in their 50s, perhaps with children who are still financially dependent or parents requiring support. The cost of living, healthcare expenses, and retirement planning might feel overwhelming. These pressures can lead to stress, arguments, and even resentment as each partner tries to manage competing priorities. Take, for example, Laura and Mike, a married couple who have both worked hard their entire lives but find themselves struggling to keep up with the mortgage, medical expenses, and saving for retirement. They feel exhausted from years of hard work with little time to enjoy the fruits of their labor, and this frustration seeps into their relationship. In this case, reminding them that financial stability is not a replacement for love, but a foundation that supports it is essential. Financial discussions don't need to diminish love, they can be opportunities to align goals, make sacrifices together, and find unity in planning a sustainable future. For those in this situation, take a moment to reflect on what's really important. How can you work together to reduce financial stress without letting it undermine your relationship? Consider meeting with a financial advisor or setting a time each month to discuss finances openly. This allows each partner to express concerns and make decisions as a team, reducing the emotional toll of financial uncertainty. 2. Set concrete goals and take steps toward them. Defining purpose in midlife. At 50, life often feels like it's in transition. Many people in Western societies face changes in employment, health, and family dynamics. This stage can feel daunting, especially if economic pressures are mounting and retirement feels more like a looming deadline than a dream. Setting concrete goals, even in midlife, helps redefine purpose and gives direction to move forward. Imagine John, who recently lost his job due to downsizing. At his age, finding new employment in his field is challenging, and the financial strain is causing him to feel anxious and uncertain about the future. John might set goals to learn new skills that align with the current job market or consider alternative careers he hadn't previously explored. Though it's easy to feel that options are limited, approaching this time as an opportunity for growth instead of a dead end can be liberating. For individuals like John, setting short-term, achievable goals, even as simple as updating a resume, networking with colleagues, or enrolling in a local course, can restore confidence. It's not only about earning, but about finding new meaning and adaptability in a shifting economy. Ask yourself, what steps, however small, could you take today to bring you closer to a goal? Could you explore part-time work or remote opportunities? Each action taken is a commitment to self-sufficiency and resilience. By redefining goals, this transition can become a period of empowerment rather than loss. 3. Reciprocate kindness and generosity, strengthening social bonds in challenging times. In Western societies, where independence is highly valued, it can sometimes feel awkward to seek help or lean on others, especially at 50. Many feel the burden of having it all figured out, yet life rarely conforms to such expectations. In times of financial strain, reciprocating kindness and generosity becomes not only a social duty but also a vital way to strengthen community and foster resilience. Consider the example of Sarah, a 52-year-old who has always been the one to help others, whether it's cooking for friends, offering rides, or being the first to volunteer. Recently, Sarah has been struggling financially but finds it difficult to accept help in return. She fears appearing vulnerable or as though she hasn't done enough with her life. However, reciprocation doesn't mean giving back exactly in kind or at the same time. It can be a cycle of support, where we contribute when we can and allow others to support us in return. Reflect on your social circle and consider, are there people who have supported you that you haven't reached out to in a while? This stage of life can be a great time to reconnect with old friends or family members, allowing for an exchange of encouragement and support. By nurturing these connections, even when times are hard, you're reinforcing a network that can provide both emotional and practical assistance. 4. Quality over quantity in friendships, finding true companions for life's journey. In our 50s, friendships often look different than they did in our younger years. Gone are the days of expansive social circles filled with acquaintances. Instead, this stage of life emphasizes the value of deep, meaningful relationships that provide genuine support. With economic stresses and life transitions, having quality friendships becomes a source of strength and grounding. Imagine Tom, who has many social connections but only a few real friends. Now facing financial difficulties, he realizes that most of his acquaintances are not there to lend a listening ear or offer support. His true friends, however, are the ones who check in on him, offer advice, and remind him that he is not alone. In challenging times, it's these connections that remind us of our worth and help us stay resilient. Ask yourself, who are the people in your life who genuinely listen, encourage, and support you? When was the last time you reached out to them? In times of hardship, it's easy to feel isolated, but connecting with those who truly care can provide invaluable perspective. Quality friendships bring warmth, reduce stress, and remind us that we have people by our side, no matter the circumstances. 5. Enjoy hobbies responsibly. Balance work with play. In the fast-paced Western lifestyle, people often juggle multiple responsibilities: work, relationships, personal development, and leisure. Hobbies are essential for mental health and relaxation, allowing people to unwind and express creativity. However, the challenge is to enjoy these activities without allowing them to take over or disrupt the balance needed to accomplish other goals. Let's dive deeper into how managing hobbies well contributes to personal success. The role of hobbies in Western culture. Hobbies in Western culture are seen as a way to unwind, recharge, and even build skills that enhance one's personal or professional life. In cities across the US and Europe, you'll find everything from fitness clubs and hiking groups to art classes and online gaming communities. Hobbies aren't just for fun, they help people connect, relieve stress, and gain new perspectives. For instance, activities like sports, yoga, and dance allow for physical activity that reduces stress and anxiety, while hobbies like painting, cooking, or playing an instrument encourage creativity. Finding balance. When hobbies become a distraction, while hobbies bring joy and relaxation, they can sometimes evolve into distractions, especially with the growing popularity of screen-based activities. For example, video games, streaming platforms, and social media are now accessible anywhere and anytime. The average American, for instance, spends several hours a day watching television or using streaming services, while gaming has become a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide. While these activities can be entertaining, they often consume more time than intended, leading to procrastination and reduced productivity. Consider this scenario. Example: John is a software developer who loves online gaming. He initially starts gaming as a way to relax after work, but over time, he begins spending more hours online, sometimes staying up late to play. The result? He feels fatigued the next day, his work performance declines, and he finds himself lagging behind on his personal goals. John's hobby, initially beneficial, has become a source of stress because of his inability to balance it with other aspects of life. Questions for self-reflection. How much time do you spend on your hobbies each day or week? Consider whether this time commitment aligns with your priorities and goals. Are there any hobbies that have become more distracting than refreshing? If so, why do you think they've taken on this role? How to balance hobbies and responsibilities. One effective approach is to schedule hobby time and stick to it. Just as we allocate time for work or exercise, having a set time for hobbies can prevent them from becoming excessive. You could also explore hobbies that add value to your other goals. For instance, example, Sarah is a marketing executive with an interest in photography. Instead of solely focusing on it as a leisure activity, she integrates her hobby into her work by using her photography skills in marketing campaigns. This approach allows her to enjoy her hobby without feeling like it's taking away from her professional life. Balancing hobbies is about setting boundaries and ensuring they enhance, rather than detract from, your overall life goals. 6. Laziness is a natural trait, but it can be overcome. In Western society, where productivity and achievement are highly valued, overcoming laziness or procrastination is a challenge many face. Laziness often stems not from a lack of willpower, but from a lack of clear motivation or the fear of failure. However, with the right mindset and strategies, you can overcome this inertia. Understanding laziness and its root causes. Laziness is often linked to deeper issues like burnout, lack of direction, or overwhelming fear of failure. For example, Western work culture can be demanding, with people often experiencing burnout culture where constant productivity is the norm. In such environments, people might procrastinate because they're mentally and emotionally exhausted. When faced with such exhaustion, tasks can feel overwhelming, leading to a tendency to avoid them altogether. Example of laziness and procrastination in daily life. Consider Jessica, a college student with dreams of becoming a lawyer. Jessica knows she should study daily, but often finds herself putting off assignments until the last minute. She realizes it's not because she's lazy, but because the workload feels daunting. Over time, procrastination becomes a habit, and her grades suffer. Jessica's example shows how procrastination can stem from feeling overwhelmed. To combat this, she might break her workload into smaller, manageable parts, setting achievable goals for each study session. Steps to overcome laziness. Overcoming laziness requires building self-discipline, which often starts with small, consistent actions. Here are practical steps. Set small, achievable goals. Instead of setting large, daunting goals, break tasks into smaller steps. Example, if you're trying to exercise regularly, commit to just 10 minutes a day at first. Gradually increase as it becomes a habit. Reward progress. Recognize your achievements, no matter how small. Positive reinforcement builds motivation. Example, for every hour of focused work, allow yourself a short break or reward yourself with something enjoyable. Create a supportive environment. Surround yourself with people who motivate you or engage in similar goals. This external accountability can push you forward. Example, if you struggle with procrastination at work, join a focus group or find a colleague who also wants to build better habits. Working together or simply checking in can keep you both motivated. Questions for self-reflection. What tasks do you tend to procrastinate on? Identifying them can help you understand why you avoid these tasks. What small step could you take today to move closer to your goal? Starting small makes large goals more approachable. Overcoming laziness isn't about forcing yourself to work harder. It's about understanding your habits, building self-discipline, and creating an environment where you can thrive. 7. Reflect on what you want from life and stay focused. Self-reflection is a cornerstone of personal growth, especially in Western societies where individuality and personal fulfillment are highly valued. Knowing what you truly want in life helps you make decisions that align with your core values, allowing you to focus your time and energy on meaningful pursuits. Why self-reflection is essential in the Western lifestyle. The fast pace of Western culture often leaves little time for reflection. With social media, work demands, and societal expectations constantly influencing people, it's easy to lose sight of personal goals. Reflecting on your desires and purpose can ground you, helping you make choices that genuinely satisfy you rather than choices that fit society's expectations. Example, the journey to clarity in personal goals. Imagine Tom, a high-achieving corporate professional who has worked tirelessly to climb the ladder. However, he realizes he feels unfulfilled despite his success. Through self-reflection, he identifies that what he truly wants is a career that allows more creativity and personal time. He decides to switch paths, pursuing a role that better aligns with his values. This shift not only brings him greater satisfaction but also improves his well-being. Tom's story highlights the importance of periodically reassessing your goals. Life circumstances change, and so do personal values and aspirations. Regular self-reflection helps ensure that you are moving in the right direction. How to practice meaningful self-reflection. Schedule regular reflection time. Set aside time each week or month to think about your goals and priorities. Example, each Sunday, spend 15 minutes journaling about what went well that week, what didn't, and what you'd like to focus on moving forward. Define clear, personal goals. Instead of adopting generic goals, identify what genuinely resonates with you. Example, rather than setting a broad goal like be successful, define what success means to you personally. It could mean having financial freedom, a flexible job, or making a positive impact. Reevaluate periodically. Your goals and desires will evolve over time. Check in with yourself regularly to ensure your path still aligns with your values. Example, every 6 months, revisit your list of goals. Are they still relevant? Do you feel fulfilled pursuing them? Questions for self-reflection. What does a fulfilling life look like to you? Describe it in detail. This clarity will guide your decisions and actions. Are your current goals aligned with your core values? If not, consider what adjustments could bring you closer to alignment. Focusing on what you truly want from life requires courage and commitment. In a world filled with external pressures, staying true to your vision will lead to a more satisfying and balanced life.